Warning. This podcast contains explicit sexual language and should only be listened to at work if you're looking for an excuse to connect with your HR representative. Additionally, all mentions of the word women include cis and trans women. If you are genderqueer, gender fluid, figuring it out, anything in between, and feel like this conversation is also important for you, you are welcome here.
Will you open up with me? These pages, they can feed your innermost desires. Do you feel inspired? Are you getting what you need? Are you coming curiously? A secret safe with me. And here you can simply be yourself. Sweet romance. Come on in, come on in, come on.
We got a little screwy with me being out of town. So I just want to talk about this thing that's been happening and where I'm at with it and why I've made the decisions that I've made. So I went to a con last year called Romance Con. Had a great time.
Yeah.
It was one of the most diverse. Yeah, great time. One of the most diverse cons that I found. It was really close to me. It was run really well. Overall, wonderful experience. Was so excited to go back and bought myself like a VIP ticket. Let's just also like let that fact sit in for you for a moment. Just sit for a second. Now, this year, again, so excited. Great list of authors, super diverse, authors of color, queer. It's so close to me. It's a lot easier to get to. There was a nice overlap between them and Steamulit, which meant that if I could get a lot of my books signed in Milwaukee, then I wouldn't have to bring them to California.
Right.
So excited. While I was gone, shit happened. Let's just say shit happened.
Yeah, it did.
Now, here's my understanding of the shit that has happened.
Okay.
If you know something that I don't, not just you, Seffi, but also like people.
Listeners.
Who were not
viewers.
as ill as I was.
Right.
Let's just put that out. We're not as ill as I was through the month of July. If you haven't listened to the wrap-up episode of what I read in July, it was a bit of a clusterfuck. Okay?
Europe tried to
a little
kill
bit of a
Jace.
cluster. I think only sheer stubbornness kept me from going to the emergency room in Europe. And looking back on it,
still mad at you about.
yeah, looking back on it, I should have gone to the emergency room. Honestly, the fact that I made it through Rare and didn't just walk to an emergency room, that was a dumb decision. I can't believe I made it through Rare, and that might be another bonus episode, talk about Rare, specifically because it's such a different kind of conference than everything else that I've done, and not in a bad way, just in a way, and what a unique experience it was. But anyway, getting ready for Romance Con. Shit happened. Now here's my understanding of the shit. Let's just call her the witch that shall not be named. She's terrible. She's horrible. Like, actively harming trans people with her horribleness. And that is an IP, intellectual property, that I have chosen to no longer engage with if I'm aware of it. I no longer read the books. I don't listen to the audiobooks. I own them all. I don't watch the movies anymore. I will not be watching the new TV show. I will not go to their places in the future. And it's hard as someone who loved them, who has great memories of them, who, for whom it was, and I think many of us reckon with this.
Especially
as
from
some-
our generation.
our generation who literally grew up. Like I
Grew
was
up with
11
them.
when the first book came out.
Yeah.
I was 11
Yeah.
when the first book came out. I was 19 when the last book came out. Like grew up with them.
Yeah.
I'm about the same age as the actors who played them. So that was a big reckoning.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this thing on the internet, I don't know if you've heard of it, called fanfic. Where people write stuff and they don't make any money. They don't make any money. They don't make any money. And so they can write whatever the fuck they want about whoever in whatever fandom in whatever way they want.
Yeah.
And we've talked about fanfic a little bit, and like Reylo fanfic, which I think is number one, like that's a dumb fanfic. They shouldn't be together. And the fact that it's actually canon makes me even madder. Like that last movie just makes me want to like throw things. I think more than the prequels, which were bad movies, that last movie made me even madder because I don't like your decisions. Like your storytelling was bad. And I wish that Rian Johnson was just given the last movie. It just made me so mad.
He got so much flack for what he did.
I loved episode 8.
I did too.
Fucking loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
But then
Absolutely brilliant.
All of the little,
all of the trolls and
trolls and neckbeards that live in their little caves. Yeah,
I don't care. Fuck you. So there's this thing called fanfic. And this one kind of fanfic really emerged as very popular, and it's called Dramione fanfic. It is not canon at all. Hermione and Draco do not get together. There's no sexual tension. There's nothing. There's nothing between them. And let's be real. It is not the first time a good little girl has fallen for the bad boy or been like kidnapped by the bad boy. Or like, this is not a new idea. You're just calling it Draco and Hermione and it's Dramione fanfic. So like that concept, those tropes, that kind of relationship exists in many other places. This is not new or groundbreaking.
So many places.
He just happens to be blonde, you know? Like
I have written fanfic of this. We're just gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
so it's existed for a while.
Like this kind of relationship has existed for a while.
Yeah.
But what did happen recently is traditional publishers have taken these really popular full-length Dramione fanfics and decided to traditionally publish them. Again, those announcements are not new. These books were announced years ago, like over a year ago. So the fact that they were coming out, it's not new. It wasn't a surprise. But I think my understanding of what happened is as we got closer to the release of these books, specifically the publishers, not necessarily the authors, but the publishers started heavily leaning into the relationship from the origin. And in the traditionally published books, like they are not called, they've changed names. So it no longer is Draco and Hermione. It's no longer Hogwarts. It's no longer any of those things. The titles are different than the fanfic. And then I think that, but like the what they say, sorry if you just heard me fucking around with my straw, is my emotional support water jug. My 64, it's like a 60-ounce water jug.
It's amazing.
I love it so much. But the joke is that they just filed off the serial numbers for the fanfics.
Yeah.
And are traditionally publishing them, which is technically true. It's true.
And it's not the first time that has technically been done either.
No. Isn't that like isn't
yeah, that's exactly what
fanfic? Yeah, like it's so this isn't the first time it's happened.
Yeah.
But wasn't promoted as Twilight fanfic.
No.
These are being promoted as like for fans of Harry Potter, and it hurts. It hurts. And the trans and queer community is hurt by that. And it's not necessarily the authors who are promoting it as the fanfic. It's the publishers, their marketing dollars, their marketing materials.
Mm-hmm.
But what has happened because of that, and again, feelings are valid. You are absolutely within your rights to be hurt by the actions of this terrible human.
Yeah.
And to be hurt of the connection with this IP that has been essentially taken away from something really wonderful to something that hurts, because it is actively being used to harm people. And the profits from that IP are actively being used to harm. Many people within the queer and trans community came out in outrage of these books.
Yeah.
And were quite mean to the authors. And I disagree with that. Like, you shouldn't be mean to these authors. And also to conferences or events that were promoting them, of which RomanceCon was one. Julie Soto, who wrote Rose in Chains, formerly known as The Auction in the fanfic world, who started, like, she's a fanfic author. Like, her first 2 books are fucking Raylo. So this isn't a new fact about her. The auction has been there for years. Julie Soto was one of the big names at RomanceCon. And when a lot of this was coming out, and a lot of people were mad, and it felt like it only happened when the book really launched, that like the true vitriol happened, because people were buying it and promoting it and being like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And everyone's like, but it's being promoted as Harry Potter. I'm like, this book has been on the docket for over a year, friends.
For over a year.
Over a year. Like, why are we just mad now? And this is why I think it's how it was being publicized and not the actual content itself.
Right.
But people just came after these authors. There's like
that just feels wrong to me.
It feels wrong, and it hurts because there's the 2 that came out now, but the original, like, the fanfic that really started it all was a fanfic called Manacled. And it's being re-released as Alchemized. And it's written by a woman of color. And that book doesn't come out until September. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do about her? And that book.
Yeah.
These 2 other books came out first. But that was the original. Not the original, but like the most well-known.
The most well-known fanfic.
The most well-known and the most well-respected fanfic.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, that's not a fanfic category that I have necessarily read. Not because I just haven't delved into it. But even I know that story.
Yeah. I don't know the story, but I've heard of Manacled. Like, I know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Huge deal. Yeah. So Julie Soto was being promoted. They were, using Rose in Chains, her most recent release, in the promotional, like on the website, which every author does. It's always their most recent release or the book that's about to come out right before the con. Always.
Of course.
And you're like, you're promoting her and this. And so the con decided to part ways with Julie. And like, Julie has stepped back from a number of events too. Like, this is not, RomanceCon is not the only one.
I don't blame her. She's getting
I don't blame her.
All of this vitriol directed at her. Like, why would she want to?
It sucks so bad. I was able to see her at Rare, which was right after Rose in Chains came out.
Yeah.
And she was so happy, and she was like getting on all these lists. Like, she's like, I'm not posting about it because I know that when I post, I'm hurting people. It just is so awful. So awful and so frustrating, and on both ends, like for this author and also that like the trans community is such a vulnerable community that like deserves so much love is hurting because of this, and not because necessarily like Julie did anything wrong. Like, she wrote fucking fanfic.
Yeah.
So RomanceCon and Julie parted ways, and then it was discovered. This was true last year, friends, that the management company of RomanceCon, which is called Mischief Management,
Yeah.
And started as a Harry Potter convention company, and then since went into other conventions, had this thing still on the docket about Harry Potter. Now, Mischief Management, when the witch who shall not be named was revealed to be the horrible, horrible human that they are, that he is, why don't I just misgender him? It's fine. What an asshole. Yeah, I think I'm just going to refer to him as a he from now on, because you don't respect gender. Why should I respect yours?
Right.
But in this space.
Yeah.
So, but they still have a con. And what they did is they said, hey, queer and trans humans in our community, what do you need from us? And what do you need for a space? And they said, hey, we really still want a space where we can talk about what this IP has meant to us and all the things that we've enjoyed, and we can come together with other fans and both like celebrate everything it gave us and grieve all of the things.
Yeah.
Most of their con is led by queer and trans people, the panels, the speakers, the everything. And so they're very intentionally building the space that their queer and trans IP loving community wants. But the other people, like other people within the community, and this is it, like no community is a monolith. You cannot please everyone.
Yeah.
People within the community were like, how can you even have a con at all? You shouldn't engage with this in any way, shape, or form. The fact that you even still have one is harming us. And to me, I'm like, well, if they don't create a safe space, what you're also telling the queer and trans humans who are asking for it is that their feelings aren't valid.
Yeah.
And their wants and needs aren't real. So you might not want it, but you should respect the fact that there are people within your community who do, they're doing their damnedest to provide a safe space for them. But this huge outcry from the queer and trans community about how they should never have been promoting Julie Soto, how they have this other con, how their name is even Harry Potter founded, like just swept through. And they were like, how dare you, author, be attending this event that clearly doesn't care about our safety or our well-being. And I think that's what's been so frustrating to watch, is that both of these groups, Mischief Management and all the authors, their intention is, how do I protect and support my queer and trans readers? And like the people who are part of my community. And I think that they both make valid points.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard.
It's really hard because when it all went down with you know who, the pain was palpable for an entire generation. And I know that Devin, like as someone who is directly in my life, she loved those books. Like, and now it's just like, she doesn't want to have any part of it. I remember I read them in secret because my mother was very much like, ooh, magic, witchcraft, it's evil, bad. I would read them in secret. So they have that kind of like nostalgia for me, because I'm like, ooh, I read them when I wasn't supposed to, and I got to experience this world in like a secrecy kind of way. And so I have that. And like, I don't know, it's so hard. Like, I'm having trouble vocalizing how I feel because it's so painful and so difficult.
It's so awful. But then what happened is all of these authors started dropping out. As of this moment, 18% of the original authors attending are currently attending.
Wow.
And from an admin perspective, Mischief Management separated itself from RomanceCon, and they handed it off to some other entity to run in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. I do remember seeing that, I think.
Mm-hmm. So they stepped back, and they're no longer involved, which I think sucks for them because they really did such an amazing job with it last year. And now the question is, like, does it happen? Do I go? Who's left?
Yeah.
They're trying to get new authors to attend now that it's under new management.
Yeah.
There's a romance-only bookstore up in Milwaukee that a lot of authors reached out to be like, hey, can we do something with you? There are other events. I'm like, well, we can't have like 8 different events all of those days. What's happening? What's going on? Like, some authors, they have to attend because they've sunk finances into it. Some people, I think, have to attend for contractual reasons. There are so many reasons. And it's so hard to know, like, what do I do? Like, I have a hotel reservation up there. Remember, I bought a VIP ticket. Like, and what do I end up doing on that week? So that's also fucking up my TBR, which is kind of great because I need to just let my reading happen. But it's really hard, and I see both sides of it.
Right.
I see both sides of it.
Like the side of the queer and trans community that is like, yes, we want this safe space to be able to discuss our feelings and discuss the fact that we loved this thing so much, and then we feel so betrayed by this thing that happened. And then the other side was like, we loved this thing so much and it hurt us so much and we cannot talk about it. Like,
we can't talk about it. I just, there was so many hurt feelings, and it became very aggressive. And then when authors were dropping out, people were judging like, oh, well, what did you say when you posted that you're not going? Like,
what?
Oh, you didn't apologize enough or like give enough reason for not going to RomanceCon. And it's like, nobody owes you an explanation.
No.
Like, they don't have to write a fucking memoir about why they're not going. Wow. Which is why, like, it's just like, like, people in the fields shouldn't be allowed to comment. Like, just.
Well, it goes back to our whole episodes on like author reader relationships in a public space. Like, you're not entitled to every single moment and second of their lives.
No. And again, you don't know all the things that are happening. There's one person who is doing just an incredible job. She on her own created a very detailed spreadsheet that anyone can use for RomanceCon.
Nice.
And within it, and it was, you know, to keep like reading tracking and stuff like that. And it was such a beautiful document. And within it, she has attending, confirmed attending, has to be like, she has notes of like, has to be there for financial reasons, is not coming at all, might be doing a separate event, confirmed other events. Like, she is doing so much work to keep that up to date. And I thank her because it was overwhelming trying to keep track of it for me. But it also must be heartbreaking for that person. This person who's doing this on their own time.
No kidding.
To like watch almost 200 authors dwindle down to 48.
48. Yeah.
48 authors.
That's insane.
And, you know, like, and it happened so quickly. It like was this fucking tidal wave of like, what's happening? And then like crash. And I was too sick and I couldn't follow it. And I have thank God. Honestly, one of the things that my friend group, I have a trio of book friends, and you've met them, Lisa and Caitlin. And we have several different mediums for group chats. We have an Instagram one and we have a texting one. And all three of us were like, thank goodness for our group chat where we can just express our feelings when we're in the feels and like keep each other up to date. And it was just so
like
insane.
We have said, that's where you express the feels. You don't express the feels to the authors. You express the feels to your fellow readers and your reader friends, and then be respectful to the authors who have given you this work of art that they have slaved over.
Especially no matter as we were trying to figure out like
of it are like,
yeah. And we were, at first we were like, what's going on? What's the information? What's happening with the queer community? Why is it like, we didn't know. And so we were just like a chicken with our head cut off, running around, like trying to find an answer and trying to express our frustration and being like, no, not this one. No, not this one. What are we supposed to do? And like, again, thank goodness for our group chat where we could be our confused selves.
Yeah.
Like, it's why I didn't post like me in the pillows in the dark, be like, I'm so sorry, what's happening? So explain it. Like, just can you imagine?
It's a mental image in my head right now. It's pretty great.
Oh my God. So sick, friends. So sick. But and so I felt like I wanted to say something and to share as clearly as I could everything that's happened. And, the problem is, the challenge is at this point, there's really nothing to be done. There's nothing I can do. There's no one that can be saved. And as I mentioned, like all the feelings are valid. What I do feel like is within the feels of that these feelings just kind of avalanched. And instead of taking a step back and leading with respect, a lot of people were leading with hurt. And it just makes everything harder. Yeah.
It was a reaction instead of, you reacted and then reflected. You should have reversed that.
It's like when something comes out about an audiobook narrator and and everybody's like, author, how could you?
Yeah.
The author, a lot of the time, has no say, especially if it was from a couple of years ago. Like now authors are holding more and more power, but like they used to just sign the rights away to their audiobook. They don't own it.
Yeah,
exactly. They can't control that.
No.
And you getting mad at an author for something that they can't do is wrong, and it's hurtful, and it's reactionary, and it's done with misinformation.
Yeah. Yes.
Like don't talk to the author, go talk to the audiobook company. Like
exactly. Like there's a whole give and take within like the rights community on how it all works that people really don't understand. I don't even really understand the ins and outs of it, but like you can't hold the author as the sole accountability person for every little thing that happens with their intellectual property just because their name is attached to it. Because like they sign away the rights to it for a lot of things, for a screenplay, for an audiobook, for a play version of it. Like
so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. What I'm going to say about my own feelings. I'm really sad.
Yeah.
Like, of course, not of course, but like the trans community suffers so much, and I don't want them to suffer anymore if we can help it. I'm sad for those authors who did work years ago, potentially even before we knew that she was a horrible person, who are now being dragged through the mud because how dare they engage with that intellectual property on fanfic. Like, like that's so beyond the realm of any of it. And you can't judge what people are and aren't allowed to do. Like,
no, the thing about fanfic is that it borrows from the original creation. and the author makes it their own. So yeah,
like you can't,
maybe the setting is the same, the characters are the same, the story is not. Even if it coincides with like stuff that happens within the actual intellectual properties story, still it is the author's story that they are telling.
And you don't get to determine someone else's like morality. Okay. You don't feel comfortable engaging in any way, shape, or form with anything having to do with the IP. That is absolutely within your right. But you don't get to decide whether someone else does.
Mm-hmm.
Do I agree with the beliefs of Chick-fil-A? No, I don't. Do I know that they use their money to harm? Yes, I do. Do you know where I don't eat? Chick-fil-A. I have never eaten at Chick-fil-A.
No. I mean, I have.
I'm okay.
I don't anymore, but
I never have. Number one, I don't really like chicken, so I'm okay.
That's fair.
But like, I don't. There's, isn't there like a craft store? I mean, I do craft, but I don't.
Hobby Lobby.
Like Hobby Lobby. Thank you. Yeah, I go to Michael's. Like, I go to Joann's.
Please. Well,
yeah,
you
like,
can't go to Joann's so much anymore, but.
Or is it closed?
They closed a whole bunch of stores.
I don't know. I think we still have one in Chicago. Like, I go to Michael's. I go to craft. There's a yarn and bike repair store around the corner.
That is such a weird combination.
I know. It's so cool. And like, okay, I don't choose to give them my money or my business, but like, is it my job to say whether or not they can exist? No. I don't have that right. And no one has that right. Exactly. It's frustrating when people choose to use their agency and autonomy to harm others. I hate it.
I know.
But I can't stop them. I can't police their thoughts or beliefs. I can choose not to interact with them. I can choose not to support them. I can choose lots of things. But I think
But you can only choose for yourself.
Exactly. I can choose for myself. And the fact is that, like, I feel like some of the conversation around this was people saying the moral choice of someone else was wrong.
Yeah.
Or was like, it hurt me, so your intention must have been to hurt. And
yeah.
And I think that that's a really dangerous place.
Yeah.
It's a really dangerous space to be in.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think we need to remember, and we need to take a step back. And I still don't know what I'm going to do in terms of, do I attend or not?
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a hotel room. I have the trip planned. I don't know what any side events are, but it's been quite a insane journey. And as someone who's talked about attending this conference on this podcast before, I didn't want anyone to think that I was an ostrich with my head in the sand.
Right.
And no awareness of everything around it. All right. I will see y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Jace Reads Romance is a 3 Paws Productions podcast. Produced by Seffi, edited by Michael Achenbach. Our theme song is written and performed by Diana Weishauer. For show notes and more, head to www.jacereadsromance.com. That's JAYCE Reads Romance. Follow us on socials at Jace Reads Romance everywhere. For more exclusive content, visit us on Substack, where you'll find extended episodes, bonus episodes, and more. Have a question, story, or book recommendation you know I'll love? Email Jace at jacereadsromance.com or call and leave a voicemail at 661-JACE-RR. That's 661-529-2377. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. And as always, this is Jace, holding space for you.